White tee, black polo, black dope man. Black fitted, black block, I'm a go-getter. We in misery, the gateway to the west. We riverfront royalty, expect nothing less. White tee, black polos, black dope man. Black fitted, black block, I'm a go-getter. We in misery, the gateway to the west. We riverfront royalty, expect nothing less. Ain't a thing to spit rhymes on these.
That's camera backwards. I'm be holding up this garden situation for y'all. We gonna get these shit together.
Bustin' niggas over the dome, so just duck and cover. STL where I dwell, pocket swell in this bitch. Where we live it cause we love it, staying thuggin' and shit. North side, south side.
Yo, what's up with it, man? It's your big homie Bobby Dollaz, and I am here again today with another episode of the Bobby Dollaz Show. And I have a special guest with me today, man. Today we're gonna interview Miss Crystal Holloway. She is the host of Lyfe Aligned Podcast. My bad, I got a little nervous there, Crystal. She is the host of Lyfe Aligned Podcast. She also has a business that we will discuss a little bit later on into the podcast. We want to get her in here, man, and make her feel comfortable and have a good time. You know, that's what it's all about here at the Bobby Dollaz Show. So good afternoon, Miss Holloway. How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you, Bobby?
Man, I am awesome, man. I am really excited about having you on here. I did a lot of research on you. Like, I checked out a lot of stuff that you've been doing, and I have a few questions. And behind that, like, this is a new experience for me. And
okay.
I'm a carnal knowledge kind of dude, so I don't really go off of a lot of hearsay and what people tell me. I'm more of a research it myself kind of guy. Like, I'm one of them kind of dudes where I feel like my best interest is my own. So
right.
That's kind of why I would never just listen to somebody say, hey, yeah, man, you got to do this, that, and the other. Well, I feel like you got the experience, and I feel like you got the know-how to teach me, and you know what I'm saying, put me on a better understanding of what you do. So I see you from Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
How has life been in your neck of the woods since COVID and the protests and the unrest and all that kind of stuff that's been happening?
So I live in Fairfield. I'm from New York. So I mean Fairfield is really like on the border of New York anyway.
Yeah.
So we were one of the first, because Connecticut and New York kind of were on the same page. Yeah. So Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York, the governors kind of all, you know, had their little powwow, and they all issued like very similar restrictions and mandates or whatever. Okay. So things shut down.
Wow.
Like pretty quickly. And it was an adjustment, you know, but I think for the most part, most people in this area were kind of on board and really supportive of the things that were happening. You know, Cuomo had his little shine, governor of New York, and everybody was kind of rocking with what he was saying for a bit. So it was good. Like, I think the way we handled it was the way things needed to be handled. Okay. And, you know, now you can see in Florida and other states that didn't take it seriously or opened up too soon, cases are rising. So.
Oh man, hey, they growing like a whole bunch of little children, you know, like that virus all over the place, man. It's crazy in Florida, and I mean, like, the only thing you really can do at this point is offer your condolences, because so many people are just doing what they want, you know, and it's crazy. Like, nobody's adhering to the mask and the social distancing, none of that. You know,
exactly.
That's just crazy. It really is. I don't know. I mean, have you been able to stay safe and like be able to protect yourself?
We have, thank God. I mean, I know people that have had the virus, or people that I know have had family members that have died, you know? So, I mean, we definitely, it's serious. It's been serious. We have people in our family who have compromised health. So my husband in particular has been really like, no games.
Yeah.
And he also, you know, has a cleaning business. So he is very aware of hygiene and cleanliness and that sort of thing anyway. Yeah. So he has been like, yeah, I'm not playing. Like, do not come to my house. If you're dropping something off, leave it on the porch, you know.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's
it's been hard. It's been a hard adjustment, especially for the kids, you know, being home and not being able to have their play dates and stuff like that. It has been difficult.
Yeah.
We're a little bit better now where we have, you know, just our little group that we kind of know what they're doing, they know what we're doing, and we still keep it to a minimum.
That's what's up,
man.
Not
having no parties or nothing over here.
No. Like, I'm like that too. Like, my children are a little older. Like, my son will be 22 next month and my daughter will be 19. So they kind of on board too. Like, nah, Dad, don't be letting them come over here. They ain't got no reason to be over here.
Exactly.
You know, so I kind of get it. You know, my wife, she's a respiratory therapist, so she's as thorough as, like, you know, your like you were speaking about your husband. Like, I'm like that too. I watch everything, air purifiers, we know, masks everywhere. Like, we make sure everything is where it needs to be, and then we do a lot of stuff outside too. So, you know, we just try to stay on top of the game. That's about that.
Yes.
So, has there been any, like, protesting? And because, you know, the Breonna Taylor thing is real tough right now, and we're still fighting for George Floyd and everything. Like, has there been a lot of unrest and protests and everything?
So I'm kind of in the more suburban area. So like right where I live, like in my neighborhood, no. But I know, like, in my city, there's been stuff going on in the city that I work. So I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And I work in Stamford, Connecticut. So they are like one of the areas that just did one of the Black Lives Matter murals on the street.
Right.
A little north of me in West Haven, my daughter and I went out one day, and I, you know, noticed all the activity going on, and they were out there, and it was mostly white people, but they were out there protesting and, you know, had their signs and everything. So it's just, we're in a time right now where this collective energy in general, a lot of shifts are happening. There's a lot of change happening. And we're all being affected, whether we're on board or not, whether we're prepared or not, is happening. So it's really nice to see so many people getting involved. I mean, I have my issues with some of the words that we're using, some of the ways that we're phrasing our frustration, but I think in general, like, systems that have been in place with, like, police brutality in education, finance, like every system that has been in place to keep people down in some way or another is being dismantled, and it's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole mouthful, man. Too much to chew at once. You're absolutely correct. But at the same time, I keep saying it, and I say it to everybody. You just got to let life happen. Like, there's no rhyme or reason behind some of the things that we're encountering right now. But at the same time, like, you only need to control your situation. All the rest of that stuff, man, you know, let God do what he do. So that's just kind of like my mindset on how I move with all of that. And I protect myself, protect my family, you know, and I just try to do the best that I can to keep people aware. Have you had an opportunity? If not, and it's no big deal if you have or you haven't, but have you had an opportunity or felt like you wanted to use any of your platforms for a resource as far as, like, Black Lives Matter, or, you know, just anything like that?
It's interesting, and I've been in an interesting place and really trying to navigate my own feelings and how I want to respond, because I actually did an episode about this on the podcast. So as a podcast, you probably know there was like a week or so where people were either not posting new episodes, or they would post an episode for like the 8 minutes and 48 seconds that George Floyd was pinned to the ground, right? And again, when we talk about, like, the words that we're using, so a lot of people have their masks, their t-shirts, or whatever, or they're saying, I can't breathe. And the protests, like, this, like, kind of broad, just general protest, wasn't really something that resonated with me. We blackout episodes or the I Can't Breathe episodes was not something that resonated with me. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was.
Okay.
And I saw a post on Facebook and I'm like, that's it. Like, it made perfect sense. I'm very into energy. I'm very into setting intentions and manifesting and using our words to create the lives that we want.
Okay.
And when we say things like, I can't breathe, you are setting an intention. You are calling in that energy, and you're, really sending out into the universe to restrict your airflow.
Okay.
And for me, I just feel like we need to frame what we're doing and what we're saying differently. I'm fully on board for the movement that's happening, but I feel like we just need to go a little deeper and really construct again. Like, so instead of saying I can't breathe, you would say like I am breath. Instead of saying no justice, N-O, no peace, no justice, K-N-O-W, no peace. Just simple shit like that. And like I said, it just reframing the way we're thinking about it, because again, like when we talk about like all these murals and stuff that are like superficial shows of solidarity, all these corporations put their we support Black Lives Matter statements out, but the power is in the action. We say the words to set the intention, but then what do we do with those words?
I agree.
I just feel like we need a more organized, more action-oriented, even like with something like the Blackout Day when people weren't buying or were only supporting Black-owned businesses. Loved it. Was completely on board. That's something I support.
Right.
But it was one day. How are we going to keep that momentum going? How are we going to continue to uplift ourselves,
That was my thought process too. It's like everything about Black people is always geared to, I guess to band-aid every situation, not to cure it, not to fix it, not to make it better, but just to band-aid it, because it's the same thing I just got through talking about with another guest that I just had, because he's pro-Black. And like I said, it's the same thing. We get 28 days in February to discuss Black matters, Black issues, Black everything. That's a lot to take in 1 month. But then behind it all, you're being force-fed the stuff that they want you to see. They want you to see Martin Luther King. They want you to see Malcolm X. They want you to see Bruce. And it's like, that's not my Black history. That happened like 40, 50 years ago, bro. Like, I want to see what's happening right now. My Black history is what's these monuments getting taken down. The things that I'm walking around in and I'm setting footsteps and imprinting in right now. Like, I understand what happened with my mom and my uncles and all of those guys back in the 60s and 70s, because I was born in 77. I lived through the 80s era and all that. But at the same time, it's like, damn, like, why we got to keep going back to that? Why we got to keep living that same thing over and over and over again, just pissing us off and frustrating us and making us as angry as those people were back then? There's no solitude. There's no peace of mind. We'll never, ever get an opportunity to evolve. We're just constantly mad all the time.
Exactly.
So.
And that, for me, it's, again, so many people are trying to fit in this structure. They're trying to find a place in this system, but the system is broken. The system wasn't designed for us. The system wasn't, it wasn't designed for poor whites either. A lot of them don't realize it, but that's a whole other conversation. But it's impossible for us to affect the change that we want, to get to where we're trying to go, in a system that was not designed, was not created for us. So in order for anything to happen, in order for any progress to be made, we have to deconstruct the system, tear the whole thing down and start from scratch. This trying to work, like you said, put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound is not going to help us.
Yeah, because honestly, and I don't mean to keep ranting about that, but to be honest with you, like the system, like you say, the system is jacked up. Well, we are the system. That's why the system is so deconstructed and so screwed up, because everything about the system is based around Black people. It's about our ingenuity. It's about us being locked up. It's about us being in the prison system. It's about us getting killed by cops. It's about us getting jobs. It's affirmative action. Everything about the system is about Black people. But the thing is, instead of us focusing on what's important and then making sure that we can come out of this and evolve and be better, we stay stuck in that stupor of being stagnant and accepting what's given to us and then just wanting to stay like that forever. You got Black people been working at the same job 36 years and they ain't got nothing but a $10 raise over the last 20 years, but they cool because they're content with the fact that it's close to home and I know the managers and I'm cool, you know, like that's that slave mentality, man. And that's only because you grew up seeing that shit from your parents. And as long as you you watching the same TV show over and over and you're going to start reciting it verbatim, you know, so fuck that. Hey, all that has to change. Like we can't be doing that, man. Like we got to stop enlisting ourselves into the angry army. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to kind of walk away from that, man, and just start focusing on stuff that are a little more important, like our lives, our survival, gardening, you know, small businesses, reconstructing our communities, things like that. So I'm with you. I'm with that 100%, man. I really am. But you know, that's enough of that pillow talk, man. Like, like I heard you say your focus and your I heard you say something about energy and your focus with energy. Okay, so you are the owner of LyfeCrystalized.com, and you also are the host and creator of Lyfe Aligned Podcast. So tell me about your business and your podcast.
So my business is, I am a Reiki practitioner.
Okay.
I'm also a tarot reader. Okay. So I use those tools in order to help people. And I really use it as more of like a coaching thing, because people, you know, see or hear tarot and they're like, oh, you're going to predict my future, or you're going to tell me when I'm going to die, you know.
That's what I thought. I ain't going to lie. I was like looking at my palms like, damn, I just had carpal tunnel surgery on both hands. I wonder what. Oh, man.
So I really use both of those modalities as more of a coaching tool. So let's say you want a job, or you're looking to gain information about, you know, am I going to get this job or something like that? Or how can it, and I like to frame my questions differently. It's not really a yes or no thing, but it really is, how can you get to where you're trying to go? So like the question I would ask is, what can I do to get this job? And we'll, you know, pull the card, see what comes up. Well, maybe there's something you need to study. Maybe there is somebody you need to partner up with. Maybe there's a mentor that you need to study under, something like that. These are all steps that you can take in order to get the position. Or you might find out that you're exactly where you need to be and, you know, just relax and let it happen because you've done all the work. Right. So, but either way, whether you're happy with the outcome or not, it really is, and the way I use it is just a tool in order for you to figure out again, back to those actions. Yeah. What actions can you take to get to where you're trying to go? Right. I also make energy healing jewelry. So I make like bracelets, like these types of beaded bracelets. Right. Necklaces. I also do like pendulum. Like I have
we're gonna get to that. I seen that on the website. We're definitely gonna get to that. Mm-hmm. And
so the Lyfe Aligned Podcast started out. It was like Lyfe Crystalized originally. Okay. And I still have a YouTube channel, which I'm kind of playing around with how I want to proceed with that. Mm-hmm. But I was doing tarot readings on YouTube. So I would do the readings and upload the video. And the podcast started out with, so like if you listen to my first couple of episodes, it's just the audio of like a tarot reading. Right. But in January, I switched to a new format and I changed the name because they're similar, but they're different. So
Yeah.
now I have solo episodes where I talk about whatever spirit moves me to talk about. Like I said, one episode I did on this chanting, I can't breathe, and how we could reframe that. And I also talk to guests who are living their best lives and inspiring people along the way.
Okay. I
And
like
the
that.
focus, the purpose of my show is really just to, and which is my tagline, giving you the tools
Yeah.
to live a life of purpose.
I love
So
your
whether it's
purpose. Yeah.
thoughts that I have or people who are doing their thing, I just hope to inspire people
Yeah.
to step out of their comfort zones and to step into their purpose.
Hey, tell me, I love this. Hey, tell me those names of the days of the week again. I love
So
those.
I love I love reading books and that sort of thing. I'm also a teacher, so I like alliteration.
Yeah.
So I have, everything is hashtags nowadays, especially if you have, social media accounts where you're trying to build a business. It's all about hashtags.
Yeah.
So most of my hashtags kind of go along with the days of like the letters. So Monday I had Make It Monday.
Okay.
Or Made It Monday rather, and I'll post pieces that I've created. So like my jewelry or my pendulums or whatever pieces that I've made.
That's
Tuesdays are Tarot Tuesdays.
Okay.
And you get just like a weekly kind of general reading.
Yeah.
Wednesdays, now we know Wednesdays are also called hump days, right?
Yeah.
It's the day in the middle of the week.
Right.
So my twist on Wednesday or hump day is hump day or dump day.
Okay.
So the whole premise behind hump day or dump day, and this started out as love readings on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So it was like a pick a card reading, and for those of you that don't know what that is, I would have like 3 or 4 different groups. So I would show you like different crystals or even just objects.
Yeah.
You choose a crystal that you like or resonates with you, and then each group has a different message. So the question was, is this week or is today a hump day? Are you and your lover humping? Or is it a dump day? So is there trouble in paradise? Is somebody you need to cut loose?
Yeah.
So that was just kind of my fun hump day or dump day readings.
Yeah, that's fun. I like
Actually, so since quarantine, I've been doing those live on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's a live reading. It's still called Hump Day or Dump Day, but it really is kind of like just in general. It might apply to love, because what I found too was, even though my intention was like to do these as love readings, people were saying that they made sense in other areas of their life. So like, for some people, it was like, wow, I've been thinking about my mom who passed, and that reading really confirmed some things I was feeling about her, or, it's like real serious shit. Not that love isn't, but I realized it was just so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
So I still do the Hump Day or Dump Day live on Wednesdays on my IG channel. But what I do is it's just a general. So what energies, what things do we need to be humping? What do we need to be doing more of this week?
Right.
And what are those things we need to be letting go? What are those things we need to dump?
I like that.
So that's Hump Day or Dump Day. And then there's Thoughtful Thursdays, are really just my thoughts, whatever I'm thinking, whatever comes to mind. And then Friday.
Wait. On Thoughtful Thursday, though.
Yes.
Are you being as real as you possibly can, or are you just like giving people just a tad bit of insight of your thought process, or are you just giving them your whole mindset?
So for me, it's really kind of more of an inspirational kind of uplifting thing. So, I mean, definitely like everything that I post is really what I'm feeling, or, what I may be going through in the moment. So like, it really is kind of like just things to think about, or things that I have thought about throughout the week. Sometimes it's like a repeating symbol or number or something. Like I keep like, actually the last couple of days it's been ladybugs. Like I've been seeing a lot of ladybugs.
Right.
So that symbolism, the symbolism of ladybugs ties into like transformation, you know, they go from the larva to this beautiful bug, or what we tend to think about as a beautiful bug. It's just like a reminder that you're on the right path, that you're supported. So like my Thoughtful Thursday might be something along those lines, the symbolism, or not necessarily mentioning ladybugs per se, but just talking about looking out for signs that you're on the right path, or something like that. So it's really kind of just, that's my most serious, you know.
Yeah, that's why I stopped you, because I could feel the positive energy on that one. Like when I was reading it and I was looking through the website and looking through your week and everything, because of course, Fuck It Friday attracted me first. So I was reading through it and I was like, yeah, it kind of seemed like she kind of dig a little bit on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If it's something that's really plaguing you, or that's why I asked you, do you like give it your all on that day, or is it just like, I wonder why hot dogs are pink, you know? You know, that's why I asked, you know, because sometimes that's kind of how it is. So I'm lighthearted like that sometimes. I have weird thoughts. I have very, very thoughtful thoughts. I have very business oriented thoughts, because I own businesses, entrepreneurs, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I that's why I asked. That's all.
Yes, no, it definitely, I would say that's my most like serious, you know. But like you said, Fuck It Friday is like, that's when I kind of really let my hair down. Is like, and that again is a tarot reading, but I'm reading it in terms of like, really, what do we need to just say fuck it to today? Sometimes it's other people's opinions. Sometimes it might be trying to control everything, whatever it is, you know, just what are we not doing today?
Yeah, hey, and I'm with that 100, man. That's like that stress, getting that extra stress off. Like, you already got the stress of the day. You already got you know, you got the grown-up stress. Sometimes you had that added stress, like, how should I do my hair today, man? Yesterday it was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm wearing a bonnet. Like that's that added stress that you get rid of in that fucking Friday right there. I'm with that 100%. Like, when I stand outside by the car for 15 minutes and unravel the water hose, and then at like 10:30 at night, my wife like, why the water hose still sitting on the ground outside? I'm like, fuck that car. I'm like, fuck that car. I ain't washing that shit. I get it.
Yes.
So I get it, man. That's why I say that attracted me first. You know, that was awesome, man. So that's what's up. So next, you know, I was tripping off of, like, when I was reading about you, and I was like I was kind of getting intertwined into the whole crystal thing, and like the energy, and back we were talking about the pendulums and stuff like that. And was that something that you actually had to go to school to learn about, or was it just like a trade or something?
So I did not. I mean, there's all kinds of especially now, like, you know, with this environment, everything is virtual. People are moving to virtual platforms and workshops. So, I mean, there's a workshop for everything.
Yeah.
I've been on my spiritual journey for a few years now, probably 5 or 6 years or so.
Okay.
But in terms of like tarot reading, and I've always kind of, like, since I started this journey, have been into crystals and just using crystals to attract different energies. And I mean, it was no coincidence that my name is Crystal. Clearly, you know, I didn't see that.
It favored you, so there we go.
Yeah.
You know
but a year ago is when I really decided that, you know what, I kind of started this journey and got to a place in life where like all my major goals were accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, I had my husband, my children, we bought a house, and it was just like, life is good. Like, I got everything I wanted.
Right.
But then I found myself like going through a period where it was like, something's still missing. And it was like, well, what's different? And I realized, like, when I was taking the time to really do that spiritual care, to meditate, to clear my space energetically by, you know, smudging or whatever, I just felt different. So I got back into that, and I started reading tarot, which is something like I had dabbled before in like oracle cards, which is similar, but to like briefly explain the difference, oracle cards are more like, I think it's more palatable to people because again, tarot has like this reputation, and I think oracle cards are more universally accepted. Some people call them angel cards. Yeah. So it's the same concept, but they're different. Okay. So you know, I started really getting into this practice, and what I realized is the more that I did it, again, just really trying to better myself, trying to learn and grow, I was sharing these gifts with people, you know, my friends and family. Right. And every time I did a reading, it was just like, wow, like the message made, and even when it didn't make sense to me, they would totally understand, like, yes, that makes sense, and that's what this is referring to, you know, things like that. So it was just confirmation that I was on the right path. And it's like, you know, just once you're in this space, just everything connects, you fall into different things. So I fell into pendulums. I've always been really creative and just like to make things. So I was doing the energy healing bracelets, which I had, you know, was something else that I had done before, and just really taking it seriously and studying just on my own, the different properties of different crystals and being very intentional about the way I was doing things. And then the pendulums kind of grew out of that. Okay. I had one, I used it a couple times. I didn't really feel like it was, like it didn't work, you know, basically. Right. But like, as I got more into it, it was like still something that I really wanted to do. So I ended up making my own, and it was like, oh my gosh, like the messages are clear, like we've connected. And it was like, okay, that's what was missing. It was like that personal connection. So it's just been, you know, just this avalanche of spirituality for me, which has been
I could look at, I mean, like, you know, I could look at your skin, man, your skin real clear. So that means like you either stress free or you just got out the penitentiary. I mean, you know, like women, you know, like when women get out of jail, their skin be clear as hell, be white. You be like, how in the hell, what kind of shit they using in there? but I mean, that's why when I actually started looking at a lot of your stuff, that was kind of a focus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was like when you look at people that do a lot of spiritual healing and stuff like that, a lot of the times they are like not clean living, but like you don't see any blemishes and all that kind of stuff. And it'd be their natural skin because of the self-healing and all of that kind of stuff. So that's pretty awesome, man. Like, and you're right. Like the pendulum, like when I was on your website, I saw pendulums, body butters. I saw something called a pom-pom potion. Let's talk. We need to figure this out here, because
you know. Yes. So my family is from Jamaica. Okay. And the pom pom potion is now, you know, of course, again, energetically, like this is just the direction that we're going in as a people. Yeah. So yoni steams or vaginal steams are like really popular right now.
All right, ladies. Any ladies listening, this is your chance. This some game right here. This free game, man. You know, Snoop say the game is to be sold, not told. Y'all better pay attention right now.
So yes, it was like, you know, I'm seeing all of this information and like these different women that are really just kicking that knowledge about vaginal health. Yeah. So I said, I just like to make things, everything. If I see something I like, because part of me as well, I just like to be different. Like you were talking about with your business, it's like, listen, if I post 6 episodes today because that's what I felt like doing, that's what I'm gonna do. Hell yeah. So I'm the same way. Yeah. You know, when it comes to things that I do, it's like I just like to be different. So I see it and that's cool, but I want to make my own because I want to make it the way I want it. So I did so I'm like, all right, let me see what's in this. And, you know, I went to an herbalist, an herb shop near me, a Black owned herb shop. If you in Fairfield area, oh my gosh, what is her, Herbs and Stuff. Yes, check out Herbs and Stuff in West Haven. Okay. But so she's a very knowledgeable sister, and she was like, listen, these are, and she, of course, had been in this for years. She's not new to the game. Right. So she kind of guided me on some of the herbs that I needed. And so I just started packaging them and selling them. Yeah, that's what's so I call them pum pum potions, because that's what, pum pum is one of our slang words for vagina. Yeah. And I'm like, again, I love alliteration, so I'm like, well, what can I call it? That's also with P. Potion. All right, here we go. Pum pum potion.
I will. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just gonna say, I guess that's like P Valley, that show that's on Showtime. I keep
hearing about this. What is it about?
It's about strippers, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like their life and all of that. Hey, I'm starting to realize, and I'm starting to learn, Crystal. You can't. When people start telling you about like TV shows and stuff like that nowadays, you can't even say, I ain't finna look at no shit like that. Like I wouldn't even trip. Right. Like you can't do it, because I literally kicked my daughter in the butt for 6 years and told her to get the hell away from me when she started talking about Walking Dead. And I have just been watching 9 seasons. I paid $30 for season 10 the other day. I'm like, man, and I had to apologize to my baby, because I'm a man first. So I went to her and I said, Punk and Daddy is so sorry. You are absolutely correct. I was like, you was a kid. You was only like 11. I was telling you, leave me the hell alone. I'm like, and I should have watched it. It was awesome.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, that is my husband and I. I'll knock out. I'll go to a movie theater and fall asleep, because like when I'm tired, I'm tired. But that show will have me up till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like,
man, well, get ready, because I watched Comic-Con and they got a Rick Grimes movie coming out, and it's gonna be like that's a whole nother episode. Chris, see, here you go. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing, Chris. Nah, it's cool. Like, but for the most part though, yeah, like I read about the pum pum thing, like the steam and all of that kind of stuff, and I checked that out. Like, you are very detailed. So therefore, I will say that means that you paid attention to what you were doing. You got the research done. When you do stuff like that, it makes it easier to trust the product. So
thank you.
So that's awesome, and I'm glad. You know what I'm saying, that we do have somebody that is actually trying to naturalize.
Yes. And I mean, what I had, because again, you hear this like yoni steaming or vaginal steam, whatever you call it, and you think about it, the way most people think about it is just, it's something to keep my vagina healthy or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, it really is part of my spiritual practice. It's part of my spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
And I say that because for me, I steam like every 2 weeks. So again, everybody's different. We all have our different. I would not recommend doing it any more than that, but to each his own. But that time for me is me time. Like, it's just me. I'm there.
Relax.
I dim the lights. I light my candles. I might have some like meditative chants going, and I meditate. Like, I take that time and I meditate for that half hour.
Yeah,
I meditate.
So that's
time for me. It's one of the longest periods of time that I'm able to really just meditate. There are people that do it for hours and have no problem. Most people aren't like that. Yeah. So for me, it's just one of those things that helps to put me spiritually in a different place.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. Like, we need that. It's just control. That's all it is. It's just being able to control your situation. And then when you do that and you do actually control your situation, it's for betterment. Like the whole time, like the whole situation. Once you understand what it is that you're trying to do for yourself, it's always going to be for the better. You ain't going to say, I'm finna walk in this hole and see if I survive. Nah, like you'll walk around the hole because you want to see what's going to happen when you get down the street. So,
exactly.
so, I kind of absolutely understand. And, I'm glad, like I say, I'm glad we got people like that, man. I'm kind of doing that, like I say, with the whole farmers market thing and my gardening. And, with me with the YouTube videos I'm trying to do with
Right.
Big Homie's Garden and everything, like just basically introducing people into something or a lifestyle that otherwise they wouldn't do, because they would think people would it would make them look soft or make them look stupid, or
Mm-hmm.
tripping off what somebody else think. You know what I'm saying? so
Exactly.
so that's awesome, man. So all right, so let's see. Story time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's see what Crystal got to offer us, yeah. All right, so tell me, like, a real short story or an experience or like a moment of clarity that made you the woman you are today. That made you
That made me want to.
No, that made you who you are today, the woman you are today.
Woo. Let's see. There have been so many experiences. I'm trying to.
Take your time. I mean, like,
I know.
it's whatever. Like with me, I would say whatever it is that brought value into your life.
So I think for me, one of the most impactful experiences I have had that have really kind of put me where I am, was like the ultimate test kind of thing, was losing my first child.
Okay.
So I was 18 weeks pregnant. So, I mean, I was big and round, and had felt the baby moving and everything. So we're, past the fear of the first trimester of having a miscarriage and that sort of thing. Right. Everything was progressing the way it should have been. And then we found out it wasn't. So long story short, we found out that the baby had spina bifida, which is a hole in the spine. Okay. And depending on where the hole is, how severe it is, the child could be born with like a limp, any physical therapy or like something simple like that. Not that it's simple, but like that's a mild case. In our case, she had encephalitis, which is fluid on the brain. So my husband and I were faced with the decision of carrying this pregnancy to term, which would have meant that she would have been like in a vegetative state in the hospital with a shunt to drain the fluid, and just really that would have been her life. Or ending the pregnancy. So we chose to have labor induced, which was devastating. It took us a year to get pregnant, so this was like a journey of questioning if I could even have children, right, and to get to this point where we're like halfway through this pregnancy and everything is great, to going home, leaving the hospital, because I actually delivered her. We saw her and all, so I mean, it was a birth, but I'm leaving the hospital with no child. So it was, but that experience really showed me, surviving that experience really taught me a lot about myself and my strength, because all I ever wanted to be all my life was a mom. And to get that close and then it not happen was devastating. But I survived,
Yeah, you did.
I survived, and I went on to have 2 amazing children who I know wouldn't be here if she was here. So it's just all of those things like that to me was, first of all, just a huge test to me, and just how can I survive this? And I know like that was one of the first things that really confirmed. And again, like I said, having my 2 children now, it really just showed me that everything happens for a reason.
Man,
even when, and it's funny because when I went back to work, one of my students, and honestly, I don't even remember this child's name because she wasn't like my student. She was in a class that I was in, and so it wasn't like we had a close relationship or anything. But she said to me, she said, Mrs. Holloway, she said, when God takes something from you, he always gives you something better.
Yeah.
And this was from like a ninth grader, you know?
I mean, she knew what she was
So,
talking about. God speaks through people, Crystal. You know that all day long.
yes.
You know,
And those words have never left me.
well,
And I continue to see how that continues to manifest in my life.
wow,
Every time I think,
that is
oh my
crazy.
gosh, it can't get any worse. This is horrible. When we come out of it, and my husband and I talk about it all the time, it's like, why were we even stressing that? Like, look where we are now. Look what happened
Yeah,
because
man.
we went through that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you gotta understand, like from the outside looking in, and that's just me from the little conversation we had. Like, I'm not a judgmental person. I don't judge nobody because I know what I've done in my life, and I know I ain't been the best person to be around, and I know
Right.
I've absolutely done some things that God gonna punish me for. But at the same time, you gotta understand one thing, man. It ain't no such thing as coincidences, and everything happened for a reason. And I think
Yep.
God took that child away from you because you wasn't strong enough yet. You wasn't ready to be a parent. And look at you now. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You stronger, you wiser, you got 2 kids, you more stable, you harnessing your energy and making life easier for you and your family. Like God know what he be doing, girl. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You hear me? Real talk.
Yes.
Like you ain't got nothing to worry about, man. You just do your thing. Like it's crazy. It's just crazy how life works, man. It's so odd how we can sit in a corner and blame ourselves for the things we can't control, you know?
Yes.
And when we do that, like that creates the mindset of depression and bipolarism and schizophrenia and all of that type of shit. Like all of that stuff is a mindset, and all it does is starts as an idea within yourself, and you grow that idea to become something, speaking it into existence, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
But a lot of people say to me like, oh man, he was depressed, he killed himself. I'm like, how do you let that happen? Like, how do you focus so much on being a bother, or like how do you focus so much on being so negative towards yourself that you just want to take yourself out? Like
Yeah.
ain't nobody came to you and said, man, you should kill yourself because you be hurting people and you be stabbing people and you just do all the wrong things. Like you just got this
And those people would never kill themselves.
yeah, you hear me? Like they all on Twitter and all types
Yeah.
of stuff. And it's like, how would you do that and put yourself in that position to feel like you have to do that simply because of a thought process, or because you don't have things going the way that you feel like they should be going? Like me, I just feel like don't play the victim, man. Fight for what you want, and then when you get it, hold on to it. Like
Yeah.
make it real. Like every dream, it all starts as a concept, and then once you can put your hands on it and it comes to fruition, like hold on to it, nurture it, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so it's so you did what you had to do, and God put you where you had to be for all the right reasons.
Absolutely. And
And
I've definitely, even through that journey, I was grateful along the way for because of course, a situation like that, you always wonder, did I make the right decision?
yeah,
Was the doctor right? Was that really? And, again, every step of the way, God put people in my life. I had a friend of mine, her mom was a nurse at the hospital I delivered with. She saw her. She saw my daughter after she was born. She's like, I've never seen a case that bad.
yeah,
So it was like, it's, for her, it was just a simple conversation with her daughter. But
right.
when I got that message, it was really, like you said, what I needed in order to move on, to know that I made the right decision and to not get stuck in that place of, did I, what could have, should have, and really fall into maybe a depression that I might not have climbed out of.
Yeah, you got to fight for what you believe in, and if you believe that you are better than what you allow yourself to be in front of people, or you characterize yourself to be something that you're not, then those beliefs are in vain, and you will be depressed and you will be upset, and people gonna call you on it and make a fool out you and treat you like a liar or a thief or like you ain't shit. Like you got to be truthful with yourself first. Be loyal to you first, and then help the people around you that need it. Like, that's how it has to be. You know, that's how it have to be. And once you're loyal to yourself, you won't lie to yourself, and you won't cheat yourself, and you won't treat yourself wrong, and everybody around you will respect you for it. That's the reason why I don't really like trip off the podcasting and all that kind of stuff, because I know what my purpose is. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny because I saw that post that you did today too about like the follows and all this stuff, or people not wanting to work with people that don't have a certain amount of followers or whatever. And it's like, it's so true. Yeah. Again, like on this journey, it's like, you know, ain't nobody listening to my podcast, right. Or I had the, you know, when you see people that are further along in their journey, of course the instinct is to compare, but we always get that confirmation that the people we're supposed to reach, we're reaching. If it's one person out there that I'm reaching, that I'm speaking to, that might be the one person that is tuning into me every day because they're in a depressed state, because they're feeling isolated or alone. And my little show, you know, is the thing that. So
that's what's up. I don't I don't know how to say this, man. Like, I don't like pictures because your booty big. I don't say you cute because your hair done a certain kind of way. You know, I don't, you know, I don't go to a party because it's going to be 15 women there and 2 guys. Like, I'm not that type of guy. If I liked your picture, I actually liked your picture. You know what I'm saying? If I told you was pretty, it was because you're actually pretty. Like, I'm a very logical individual, and I'm very truthful, and I don't sugarcoat anything. Like, there's no time for me to sit back and try to coerce you into things that don't even matter later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to I don't want to create a life, a Twitter life, and try to make people believe I'm something I'm not, and then before you know it, people gonna start wondering, because it's always a jealous person in the back of a room. You know,
look at Ellen, what she's going through right now.
Yeah, man, isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know.
You know, but like you said, like, you create this whole persona, this whole facade of who you think you should be, and it always will come down eventually. Yeah,
you know, I seen a tweet of yours the other day. I guess it was a quote. It said, "Your awakening will stir up discomfort in some around you. So you can't control it, but you do decide how you react. Don't allow another cause misalignment to steer you off course." Man, I love that. Like, basically, to me, what that meant was stay in your lane and deal with the things you can control.
Yep.
Like I gravitated to that. I don't even know how I found that damn tweet. To be honest with you, I don't even remember like when I found it, how I found it. I just remember reading it and then transferring it to my notes. And I was like, when I read it, I was like, I like the thought process that she has. Like, you're right, man. Like, I'm always telling people all the time, stay in your lane, man. Like I had a debate the other day, not a debate, but I had a small conversation on one of my other, it was actually on this account, on the Bobby Dollaz account on Twitter, about women dating down, men dating up, or women dating up and men dating down, you know, so that way, it's like they got this rich boyfriend or this rich girlfriend.
Right.
You know, hey, man, like I told them, that's all wrong, bro. The whole fact is that most of the time, people gonna go find people that they better than. So that way you'll be forced to appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. Like, if you're a rap artist and you know you don't make no more than about $100,000 a year, that's probably what a doctor make, or I make damn near $100,000 a year myself. But you're a famous rap artist and you on TVs and radios and all that kind of stuff. You gonna go find a hood chick that only make 15,000 a year, because she thinks she dating up. She thinks you popping bottles. Mm-hmm. We going to the club. He bought me a Birkin bag. But if he go find him an educated chick that's not in the hood and got a nice job, maybe a degree or doctorate or something, and she making 60,000, 70,000 a year, when he come in there with that one bottle of champagne and all that, she gonna be like, I'll put it in the cabinet. I got another one up there. You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't tripping out. So you got the ones that date down, to make them feel like they above the world. And then you got the ones that date up to make them feel like they reaching heights and plateaus that they are not to. So, you know, either way, I like that. You know, it's you're never going to please everybody. It's always going to be somebody around you that's unsure or unbalanced or worried or figuring things out. And most of the time, it's never going to be to your benefit. You know what I'm saying? So
you're right. You are absolutely right.
So, you know, I like that, man. That was an awesome quote. You can't control stuff. Make the right decision. Stay in your lane and focus on what's important, which is your inner circle. Because every decision that you make, every single decision you make, it absolutely affects your immediate circle. That'd be
absolutely
your husband, kids, wife, girlfriend, mom, whoever you stay with, shit like that. Like that's what I'll be tripping off of. You know, so that quote, man, that was awesome, man. It really resonated. You know what I'm saying? It really did.
Thank you. But see, and again, like that's what I'm talking about. You never know who you're gonna reach. Like, and I continue to be amazed and just humbled when people that I'm like, you know, especially early on, it's like I'm talking about tarot. I'm talking about like I know that there are some people that I grew up with that I've known forever that are heavy into the church, and I know they're looking at me like, "Oh, this bitch is crazy! Like she out here worshiping Satan." And
I said that again. I was like, I gotta find out about these cards. That's what I was on. Because every movie, every show, it'd be like death card. You go, oh, Lord, I'm gonna die. You have 48 hours to go stab 2 people. You know, like
it's
crazy.
So funny because like those are some of my biggest supporters. Like, yes, like I felt that message. And I'm like, real. Like, it's just even if they don't say it publicly, like when we talk in private, they're usually so open. Like, so let's talk about the death card. That is like again that typical movie. Oh my gosh, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
The death card is really, and all of this is about, you know, symbolism, intention. When we talk about the death card in tarot, I mean, again, there may be some people, because every reader is different. So you have some people out there that do kind of use it like to predict the future. But again, a lot of other things come into play there, that's a whole other show.
Yeah.
But the death card is really telling you that something is dying, or maybe there is something that you need to let die. When you look at the imagery in that card, you know, something is like, it doesn't matter who, and I feel like right now, where we are as a collective is a perfect example of the death card.
Oh yeah.
You have priests, politicians, or whoever, poor homeless people, and like these are the figures in the card, right? You have the king, whoever, whatever station in life you are, death is going to come for you at some point in time. Right now, where we are as a collective, from the homeless person on the street up to, you know, the president,
right? Everybody
is experiencing this collective death. Some way, I don't care who you are. COVID-19, George Floyd protests, these things are touching every single person in the world.
Say that shit, because I've heard 2020 is the year of death. That's what
it is. And this is like the perfect, like that is, this 2020 is the death card. It is. Because it's coming for you, but if you understand it, and if you understand that the things that are dying, should have never been to begin with. The things that are dying are things that you have outgrown. Once you have that understanding, the death card is not scary at all. The death card is, if anything, you might just be trying to figure out, okay, what is it in my life that is no longer serving me that I need to let go of? What's holding me back from, because the card after the death card is, I believe, I'm trying to think. It might not be I think it's temperance, which is kind of like getting, like rebuilding. So what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let die so that I can reach a sense of balance again, so that I can restore and rebuild?
Man, you got to let me come on your show one day and do my little reading, man, because you got me really intrigued. I seen your prices though. Hell, I ain't messing with you, girl. You better go ahead on.
So
I seen
I'm
the
glad
prices
you
on
said
that
that.
site.
Because I'm actually like those are deals right now. Because again, I'm in a place right now
Yeah,
where I am building my brand.
right.
I am positioning myself to where I know I should be.
Yeah,
And like I said in the beginning of this conversation, I use this as a coaching tool.
right.
So when you have that understanding
Yeah,
and you look at what life coaches are out here getting,
yeah, yeah.
when I launched that program, a lot of people listening right now won't be able to
Well, hey,
afford.
that's what's something. Well,
So
you never negotiate your craft anyway, so
no,
that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I feel where you coming from, because I'm like that too with my lawn care service and my landscaping business. Like my prices are my
I
prices.
wish you were in my area. We need one right now. I had a fabulous guy, and he's not doing it anymore. I'm like, but like the love he put into my yard.
Yeah, that's me. I'm a teacher. I'm what is known as a master cutter. I did horticulture for a little while, and that's what brought about the business, and that's why I'm really into gardening and learning. Like I really have a green thumb, and most of my clients, like I do up to 50 residents in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So most of my clients, I want to say at least 40 to 60% of them are always asking me questions on how to fertilize, how to grow, how to,
Right.
what should I do if I did want to start a garden? What's good seedlings, and I like educating. I like giving them that kind of thing. Cause to me, I feel like that's a gift, man. Like, that kind of knowledge, man. Like, the old saying, you can take them to water and you teach them how to
Yes.
fish. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's kind of how I am with that whole thing. So yeah, hey, again, like I say, I'm 100% with you. I like all of that, man. It's a boost, man. Like when you know that there's other people around you that kind of have the same capabilities or mindset
Yes.
or purpose as you do. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you from being so alienated. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And
So
I have found my soul tribe, my soul sisters, and just like you said, just aligning with them, learning and growing from them.
yeah,
The growth that I've seen in me is like, oh my gosh, like
right.
I know that this collective energy that we got going, this give and take. And I mean, what's so dope about these women is that we all are on similar paths,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay.
We all do similar things in different ways. Like there's a few of us that are into crystals.
Okay.
There are a few of us that are Reiki practitioners. So like our services overlap.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, I make crystal jewelry. Another one of my sisters makes crystal jewelry. I'm posting her stuff. She's posting my stuff. She's hyping. It's never a competition because
Yeah.
the way, and we support each other by buying from each other,
Yeah.
because the way I do it and the way she does it, just like you go to Target for some things and they could be right next to each other.
Yeah.
You go into Target for this, you go into Walmart for that. They sell the same stuff,
Yeah.
but they're different. And that's the way we are. And that's what I love about our sisterhood. We can all be right here on your corner selling bottled water. You're going to buy a bottle from each and every one of us because that's just how we are.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's the love. When you love what you're doing, you having fun, you don't see no competition. Because you're so involved and intrigued in your own, you know what I'm saying, your own masterpiece, your own craft, your own everything. You getting your own hands dirty. You ain't got time to stand back and hate on nobody else and want to fight and be disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
when you got two people that feel the same way like that and they tugging at each other's heartstrings, you can only progress. Like it's only gonna get better because the ideas are gonna get better, the timing is gonna get better, the rhythm is gonna get better. Like everything about y'all is gonna end up being a pronounced business, and that's just how it goes. That's how it go. But you know, you always got a couple haters. I could have did it better, or why you doing it like this, or damn, you gonna put that much in there. You know, it's
Always.
always one or two. And then when you leave and be like, well, you do your own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing. They
Mhm.
calling you a week later. Well, how much was it when you put this, that, and the other? Yeah.
Exactly. Listen, yes.
So, you know, it is, man. It is what it is. You got to let people be people, man. That's just, I mean, people in every damn way. You just got to let them do what they do, you know. Can't stress.
Yes.
Can't stress.
But you know, too, something you can do is you can explore crystals and gardens.
Oh, really?
So one of the things that you might be interested in with your gardening is looking into different crystals. Like you can use crystals in your garden.
Really?
To like citrine is a really good one to like promote growth. If you have like a struggle plant, you know, there's different crystals. I have a sister that's she loves the garden. She's very into crystals and she combines the two all the time.
Wow. I'm gonna have to read into that, man, because
Yeah.
I absolutely will order some if I know that it's just I think I would like the crystal for the garden, but also just for one of those common elements when I'm in the garden.
Right.
You know, it's more of a, like I say, more of a serene thing for me. Like I told, like today when I interviewed Joshua, I told him today, you know, he said him and his lady friend is getting into gardening. I think his wife, it might be his wife, but he said they getting into gardening now. I'm about to create a little small garden. And like I told him, man, you'd be surprised that y'all can be mad at each other. You can have a lot on your plate. You can have a whole lot on your mind. Like you could want to just fuss and be angry as you want. But once you get out in that garden and y'all start working together and pruning plants and clipping and planting stuff, like I said, all that shit be gone, man. You get ready to come in the house, y'all be talking, everything be cool. You know, y'all might find a garter snake together and laugh about it. Like you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised
Yeah.
at how serene. Like I told my wife, why you think the Indians never had no conflicts with each other and all that? You didn't ever hear about no Indians grabbing no arrows and running down the block and killing old boy because he was in the garden tripping with the corn and wheat. Like it was never nothing like that, because those differences was never there. They never hatched because everybody had a job, everybody had a role.
Right.
And once you play your role and you focus on what it is that you got going on, you don't have time for the drama. You know what I'm saying?
Gardening is on my to-do list. I've been told in more than one way lately that I really need to start exploring that, but I keep killing my plants. I really do.
It's just to be honest with you, it's just a patience thing. It's one of them things where you have to learn to how y'all podcasters like to set up your schedule, and this week this gonna come out and I'm gonna record this day and I'm gonna do how you do that. That's kind of how you got to do the plants too. Like I'm gonna feed this day, I'm gonna water this day, I'm gonna go out and nurture, talk to the plants, prune them. You know, like believe it or not, a lot of people don't understand that plant is a life. That's your child.
Yes, absolutely.
And they listen to everything you say. They hear everything you talk about. They move how you move them. They look for the sun. They do all that, man. Like I remember, and this true story on my life, this true story. I told my tomato plants outside in the front of my house right now, I said, hey, I said, y'all all runny. I'm like, y'all got to grow up, man. I'm like, I can't do this. I got to eat. I can't keep coming out here and seeing y'all this small. I said to my tomato plants, I said, look, I looked at a video and it told me y'all like fish fertilizer, y'all like fish heads, stuff like that make you bloom. I said, so I'm gonna go buy some fish fertilizer and I'm gonna spray it down. I'm like, but I need some products. I need something happening. Do you know, I said that to my plants back in late May. It's July now, and these tomato plants are over 6 feet tall, and they got tomatoes growing out. They're cherry tomato. It's a cherry tomato plant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also combined with a tomato plant with small purple tomatoes. So the small ones are starting to turn purple now. The cherry tomatoes are starting to come out. Like I'm filming all this and I'm putting it on my YouTube channel for Big Homie's Garden. And I'm talking about, like, you'll be surprised at how they actually like need your care. They like your care. They like I go out there and I be rubbing the plants and snipping little stuff off and talking to them and tying them up so they ain't, leaning too far over and all that.
Right.
And they straight up they be showing me some love. I ain't lying. They be showing me some love.
That is such a beautiful story. And just when you talk about we're all living things. We think our furniture, our house, everything in it is energy.
Yeah.
And like you said, just the things that we don't think about as having feelings or having any sense of just senses, period.
Yeah.
So Marie Kondo is big now with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, she's a little extreme. She has her way, but the concept, just the principle of just really caring for and respecting everything, is, I think, phenomenal.
Yep. And it's weird because I know you're going to call me a basket case or say I'm crazy as hell when I tell you this. Because my daughter, she says it and she laughs at me all the time. Like I told her, I said, well, Pumpkin, every time we have anything in this house that moves around and has a job, whether it's the dogs, the cats, the guinea pigs, whatever it is, it develops its own attitude and it knows who we are. And she's like, Dad, I don't want to hear that. Like, my daughter finna turn 19. So she like, whatever, Dad. I don't want to, go ahead on. So my wife decided she wanted to get one of those iRobot, the iShark things that go around the floor and everything. Because we got 2 big-ass dogs. They shed, She got tired of vacuuming every day. So I told her, I said, iRobot going to get used to us. And every time we let it, because we got it scheduled to come out at 6 p.m. from 6 p.m. to 7:30. Every day of the week, 6 p.m., 7:30. I told her, I said, our robot is going to find us. It's going to speak to us. It's going to be around us and hang around us. And she, Dad, it's a robot. The thing does not know anything about us. She's like, you tripping.
Okay.
But the other day, she had to admit it because we was all standing in the kitchen. Our robot was in the hallway going towards my office, cleaning the hallway. 5 seconds later, we turn around. Our robot, it bumps and then turn and bumps. It done bumped my son's shoe, came around, bumped my shoe, and then it hit the sink, hit her shoe. I told her, I said, what I tell you, Punky? It heard us all in here talking. Now it's in here saying, what's up, man? And she started laughing, telling me, Dad, just leave me alone. And then sure enough, she went in her room, closed the door a little bit and sat down. And 5 seconds later, here it come bumping the door open, coming in her room. And I hear her hollering, get out of here. You always under my bed. Get out. And I'm in my office crying, laughing. I said, I told her, our robot know what he doing. He comes
yes.
same rooms every day,
I believe it. Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it sounds crazy as hell, man, but you'll be surprised at how, like you say, the energy, man, it rubs off. Our dogs are the same way. They take our energy. They do what we do,
Yeah.
They walk when we walk, eat when we eat, like all of it, man. It's crazy. It's weird. It's weird.
No, they do. And this is, just but again, setting intentions, manifesting. My husband lost his car key around this time last summer, maybe even earlier in the summer.
Right.
All summer long, we couldn't find his car key. But it was summer, so we were both using my car because we were going somewhere together or we didn't both need the car at the same time. So It wasn't that big of a deal.
Couple stuff.
And his car was older anyway, so it would have been.
Yeah, they had to throw that in there, right?
Right? We get the good cars.
Oh, man.
So all summer long. And we would say every now and then, we need to find this key, especially when school starts back up, we both need a car.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a day or two before my kids had to go back to school. And that night he talked to the key and he was like, you need to come back now. Like, I need you to come back. I got up that morning to go to work. And I picked out a pair of jeans that, I hadn't worn jeans all summer, but I'm like, I'm going to work. So I was putting on pants. And that key fell out of my pocket?
Heck no. Woo! Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is
So no,
hilarious.
yes, they absolutely listen. They absolutely know what's going on, and we have to treat everything with the same energy we want returned.
I believe it because they say, hey, it's the universe. You can speak it into existence, and I absolutely believe that. I really do, man. You'd be surprised. I really do, and I'm trying to get rich. I keep talking about it. Shit, it ain't
No, see,
happening
no,
yet.
let me stop you there. You're not
It ain't
trying
happening.
to,
Yeah,
okay? You are. You feel that energy.
yeah,
I am rich. I am on my yacht right now because I have all the resources that I need to be on this yacht and still be making money.
right. I like that. I like that.
And you got to feel it and you have to act as if it is so.
That's
You
what's up.
looking at that yacht and your bank account is not quite aligned yet.
Nah, I ain't
I'm
got yacht
gonna
money.
wait on that.
I got pedal
I'll
boat
get it
money. I ain't got
soon.
no yacht money. We can get on a pedal boat, but you're gonna have to help. Well, you know.
No, listen, I'll get it soon. I'm not gonna get it today
Right.
because I'm getting something else today, but
Yeah.
soon. And don't put a date to it.
Right.
It's soon. When it's soon.
That's what's up. I like that, man.
As
See,
as soon as it's gonna happen. You know?
I'm digging your energy, man. That's that positivity, man. It carries a long, long way. You'll be surprised. It carries a long way. Look, last thing I'm gonna ask you before you go,
All right.
because I don't want to keep you all day. Your husband gonna think you cheating.
This is about to be a 5-hour episode.
Right, he gonna be walking past. Ain't no damn podcast. But last thing I ask you is, so what's your next move in Crystal's world? Like, what does the future hold for Crystal and Lyfe Aligned?
So the immediate future for Lyfe Crystalized is definitely to move into one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
That is what I am currently working on, claiming, manifesting. I am, and again, this is language that I already use. It's just scaling it up. I am a tarot coach.
Okay.
I am not simply a reader. I am not going to predict your future and tell you something that you can't change.
Right.
I work with clients in order to help them achieve their goals, get where they're trying to go.
Right.
Get where they're trying to go. More importantly, my niche in that, my specialty is abundance coaching.
Oh.
And when I say abundance, it can be money.
Yeah,
it can be love.
Yeah.
It can be whatever area in your life you feel like there is a lack. Why? What's going on? Let's get to the heart of it. Let's figure out what the problem is so we can solve it.
Yeah.
And again, I use the tools available to me to do that. So that's the immediate for Lyfe Crystalized. As far as the podcast goes, I am just going to continue to put out great content.
That's what's up.
And allow my tribe to come to me.
Hey, that's what's up. I like that. That's what's up. Yeah, because I do like the content, and I did watch the episode on YouTube the other day on Crows. Hey, that's what's up. Like I said, man, I like when people actually hone in on their craft and then they get so good at it or so confident with it that they feel like, it's okay to teach. Like, not necessarily a religious type thing where you're being forced into something, but more so like a teaching type thing where it's kind of optional, but then at the same time, you kind of feel like if I don't know, I feel like I'm missing out on something. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like that too.
And spirituality is so personal that, if you follow me for any length of time, if you listen to my podcast or when I'm writing, call it whatever you feel comfortable calling it. Yeah. If it's Jesus, if it's Buddha, God, Goddess, the divine spirit, we have innumerable words to describe this higher power.
Man, so many of them. And then the crazy
thing. Whatever resonates with you, I'm not saying my way is right. Yeah. It damn sure ain't wrong, but it works for me.
Yeah. And that's all that matters, man. Controlling your own situation, being loyal to you. That's what's important. And that's why I said I had to have you on the show simply because, like I said, I like that energy. You know what I'm saying? That positive,
Thank you.
that positive energy. And that's kind of what I try to surround myself with right now. Because we don't
Yes.
know how long we're gonna be here. So, why not try to make the best of it in all the right contexts versus,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying, constantly struggling and dealing with the BS. So that's what's up, man. Hey, you have been an awesome guest. So informative. Damn. Like I learned a lot today. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And I'm still tripping off damn pom pom potion.
Yes, order your wife some.
Yeah.
And let me just say that my husband loves steam days.
Yeah, I know you do. It's like that's one of them things where sometimes if it was me, I'd be like, man, you gotta let me get on one of them. I'm like, you gotta let me jump in on Wednesday or Tuesday morning. I don't give a damn, Yeah, but real talk, man. Like this has been awesome. It's been a very, very, very great moment. Like I really appreciate being a part of your journey. And us figuring this shit out, man, because it ain't one of them things where it's gonna happen overnight. We all know that,
It's a continuous effort.
right? But then at the same time, if we create not even a great, but a feasible community to where
Yeah.
we don't have to depend on one person. And this is the same thing I said to Joshua in the last interview. Like, if we could create a community where we don't have to depend on one person's actions because we know everybody got our back, it only makes sense. It makes the community better. Like, I've never been big on the whole black podcast and this and white podcast and that. Like, I don't trip off all that kind of stuff, because that white podcaster could have 50,000 followers, and I'm opting out of doing a show with him and getting my name and exposure out there because I only want to deal with black ones, and he might only have 10,000. So I just missed out on 40,000 people, where at least maybe 10 of that 40 would have said, I'm gonna check his show out. You know what I'm saying? So
that is honestly one of the things that I love about the podcast community. I mean, even this, like, from what I've seen, and I mean, I've only been in this game for a little bit, but I don't care what kind of podcast, whether it's true crime, I don't care if it's black, white, Chinese, whatever. Yeah. The podcast community has been so dope.
Yeah, and I like it, man.
Especially like the indie podcast community.
Yeah, see, I felt like this at first with the Sims community when I had my gaming network. I had converted I used to have a platform like Facebook. I dumped a bunch of money into it. It was called sociallyhood.com. And it was basically the website for people like us. You can watch movies on there. You can listen to music. You can upload your music if you were an artist of some sort. Like I had a YouTube section on there, where you can put videos and stuff. Like I put a lot of money into that website, and it didn't work out and it didn't fly because all the black folks that I asked to support a small black struggling business kept telling me I didn't have an app. Well, you ain't got no app. You ain't got no app. I'm like, I'm going to get an app, but to get an app for Apple is $750, and then to get an app for Android is $350. So you have to let me gather this $2,000 so that I can get the app and pay these people to do everything the right way. Because my degree is network administration with an emphasis of web design. So I can structure the website, I can run the website and all that, but I don't have time to consistently build. So I'm like, I can't build you an app and then still keep it updated and keep doing, and then still run other businesses. I'm like, so I just let it all go because the support wasn't really there. It was more of first it was a question thing, like how you get a website like this, or how can you afford this, or who hosting it, who you going through, and it's like why you care about all that, fool? Just enjoy the damn website. It's free. I ain't asked you for no money. Damn, And it just got to that point. So I've learned over the years and over time, with all the businesses that I've owned, all the money that I've made, all the money that I've lost, you can't please people, and you definitely can't please your own. Like black folks are not going to be pleased by any measure whatsoever. I don't care what it was. I don't give a shit what you're doing. You cannot please them. You can't even take their groceries in the house and sit them on the kitchen floor right. You know what I'm saying? So it
And
don't
that
matter.
is why it is so important to figure out what you want. What are you supposed to be doing? As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you feel it in your heart, your soul, your mind, your body.
Oh yeah.
You're good. Like everything else will fall into place. You don't have to try. Like you don't have to try at it. Like things like this, this conversation, this interview just fall into your lap.
Yeah, man. And it's awesome. And you know what's really bad about this interview is that so many other people have an opportunity to come on and chat with me. But because I'm not known in their community and they don't know me that well, they won't take the chance. Because I don't have 15 million followers and all that, they won't take the chance. But they don't realize they're missing out on a great interview and a good conversation and all that shit that could actually help, you know, everything that they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think I'm a people person. I think I can give a good interview if I speak to people, you know.
Absolutely. No, this was dope. I'm so thankful to be here, to be talking to you, for the opportunity. This was great.
Yeah, you intrigued me, girl. Shit, I had, I had to, you know. But that's what's up, man. From St. Louis to Connecticut. I was finna say, girl, shit, I'm tripping. We did an episode and was laughing about Rhode Island, and I was finna say Rhode Island.
I mean, I'm not too far, but no.
We was talking about Rhode Island and voting. It's cool, but yeah, man, from St. Louis to Connecticut, man, Fairfield out that way. Hey, it's love. I appreciate you. You know, I hope you and your family, your husband, your children, man, y'all stay safe. Put your mask on. Stay
healthy. Too.
You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate your time. You know, I don't find too many guests, man, that I really spend this much time with and really enjoy the conversation. And today was great. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. You too, Bobby. Again, thank you.
So before we go, man, tell everybody that's listening how they can find you. You know, go on, do that, girl. Drop that knowledge. Go on, honey.
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Okay.
At Lyfe Crystalized, and that's Lyfe with a Y. So it's Lyfe Crystalized.
Okay.
My website is lyfecrystalized.com.
Okay.
The podcast is on all the major platforms. It is Lyfe, again, Lyfe with a Y, Lyfe.
Okay.
Lyfe Aligned. So on Lyfe Aligned Podcast. Gotcha. On Twitter, I'm just at Lyfe Aligned.
Gotcha. That's why I found you on Twitter. So heck yeah. Man.
Yes. The Twitter for podcast, and I've had a Twitter account before, but like never really used it because I couldn't figure out the whole Twitter thing.
Yeah.
But for the podcast community, again, big up the podcast community, indie podcast, it has been dope.
Yeah.
Like I'm on there and just finding people like you and just other podcasts and podcasters. It's been, Twitter has been good.
Yeah, this actually might be a good ride, man. There's always longevity when it's good. So I can appreciate it, and I'm with you. The family, the community, everything, man. It's all great. It's all love. So hey, it's been the Bobby Dollaz Show. It's your big homie, Bobby Dollaz. Tune in with us, man. Again, I want to thank my beautiful host. That's what you were. You was like a host because you did way more talking than me. Now, I'm just playing. I want to thank my beautiful host / guest, Crystal Holloway, Lyfe Aligned, and y'all keep checking us out, man. Enjoy y'all time. Be safe. Wear a mask. It's your big homie.
The gateway to the west. We riverfront royalty. Expect nothing less.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Your mic went. You mute. Hold on. You mute. You mute. There you go. I couldn't hear nothing.
I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, but a call was coming in.
Oh, I got you. That's cool. I'm like, wait a minute, wait.